Hey everybody, it's Chris with Blue Ribbon again. I have really thought a lot about whether or not I should do this video. This started a few months ago where there was a discussion on W-2 versus 1099. I am obviously in the position that employee truck drivers should be paid on a W-2, not a 1099. I don't think it's a good deal for the employee. And we tried to talk and reason through that with just some common sense and looking at tax law in the United States. The guy that made this video that we're going to talk about is on the other side of that. He believes that employee truck drivers should be paid on a 1099 and says that that's an advantage to the employee and that anyone who wants drivers paid on a W-2 is somehow cheating the employee. So I made some content around that. He started spamming my comment section with just a bunch of crazy stuff. And so I blocked him. So about 2 weeks ago, someone tagged me in a post on Facebook, and he was now specifically talking about Landstar. So I made the decision to unblock him so I could go see what was being said. And I want to make it very clear from the beginning that I have on multiple occasions offered an open invitation for him to come on our platform, do it live. So there's no monkeying around with the videos or anything like that. We'll come on, we'll do it live, and he can bring his facts that he claims to have about Landstar, and we can have an open discussion about it. And he has refused every time. I don't need to go on a podcast. I have all the facts. Okay. So then I look at it and I'm like, well, I mean, this guy's got a very, very small platform. Is it really worth my time? And probably not. I mean, let's just be honest, probably not worth my time. However, I'm taking issue with the fact that someone is putting content out that says that Landstar is somehow secretly doing people wrong. And then any one of us who go, okay, well, hang on, let's talk about the facts and what happens and what doesn't happen. Let's just have that conversation. And now we're somehow accused of being in with this deception of people that are interested in Landstar. So he's made 2 videos now. And in the latest one that we're going to talk about, he interviews a driver kind of by phone. There's no video. It's just you just hear the guy's voice. And he makes a bunch of claims about Landstar that I believe some are categorically false and others are just misunderstood. So I decided that I'm going to take on this project. I'm going to take his video. I will pause it at some sections. I will add commentary, and I will add some facts that, he's very concerned about facts. And then it goes where it goes. And then you, the audience, you get to decide what information that you find valuable. Again, this platform is not about recruiting for or shilling for Landstar. I couldn't care less if you come to Landstar. I think it's the best place in the trucking industry right now for the first-time owner-operator to get their feet wet and learn some lessons about being in business. I don't think there's anywhere else in the industry right now other than Landstar to do that. Of course, we've been very clear about that over time, and we've provided a lot of data. We've been very, very transparent with our numbers and with our story and with my story of how we got here. Because what we at Blue Ribbon want is, if people want to get in business, we want them to do it well. We want them to do it safely with as little risk as possible. And we want them to succeed. But we can't ignore the fact that 95% of first-time owner-operators fail. That's an undeniable fact. And they fail because they don't know how to run a business, not because they can't drive trucks. So let's just watch the video together, and I'll pop in here and there and make some comments and commentary, and we'll see where it goes.
What you're about to hear isn't some rumor. It's a Landstar driver, in his own words, admitting what really goes on behind that big blue star. They call it freedom. I call it a contract wrapped in chains. Because when you listen to Landstar's dry van division drivers, they're getting feed to death. But when you listen to the BCO drivers that are over there that are on the upper echelon of the company, they're always bragging about their discounts and how much help they're getting and blah blah blah.
All right. So first thing, we're going to talk to a Landstar driver. We don't say a business owner, someone that owns a truck. We're going to talk to a Landstar driver in his own words, what all the problems are. And then, of course, he mentions those of us that are in the upper echelon, whatever that means. We're just experienced. We've been here a while. We understand how the contract works. We understand how the agent-customer BCO relationship works. And yes, we do get impressive discounts on things, and that's kind of hard to ignore when you get down to that, that number that we're all looking for. That's net profit.
Sometimes it makes you wonder, why don't they realize where all of that's coming from? It's because of drivers just like this that you're going to get to listen to for the next 10 minutes.
Good, good. What's going on with you? They said you was trying to get a hold of me. They said you was getting your butt kicked with a lease.
Oh yeah, that people that think that Landstar is the best thing it is. It's trash. It's trash. They fees. And I'm telling you, man,
Who are you
I
dealing with?
ran. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah.
The first week, when I ran like that $6,000 something worth of loads, and when I got paid, I only had $1,800. And what they do is they charge you day one when they sign your lease. Even if you ain't did a load yet, you getting charged. So your first week of getting paid, you already owe them $400 something for your insurance and stuff.
Okay, let's talk about that. Landstar requires all BCOs to pay into a $1,000 escrow. Now, that's your money, but Landstar is going to hold that escrow in case you leave or there's some kind of problem. That's pretty standard in the industry to hold an escrow. They charge $66.67 a week until it is fulfilled. That's 15 weeks. They also require you to buy a security lock set, either a Warlock or an Enforcer, your choice, unless you already have one, and those are $200. Physical damage insurance is based on the value of your truck. If you have an expensive truck, it's probably going to cost around $400 per month. Our trucks are older. We have two 2017 model trucks, and their physical damage insurance is $175 a month, and the other one is $184 a month. Then we have some older, like 99, 2004, 2007s, and those are $92 a month. But that's pretty much standard fare in the industry. If you're going to have insurance covering an asset, you're going to pay probably $300 to $500 a month. So yeah, when you go through the qualification process to become a BCO and you're approved and your truck is entered in the system, they're going to send you overnight a packet that's going to have fuel card, settlement card, all your stickers and permits and permit book. And from that moment, your truck is legal to drive. So they are making your truck have insurance on it from the moment that they approve you and you receive that packet. So I'm trying to understand why you wouldn't pay for that insurance. I mean, $400 a month in this case. I'm guessing that he's got a pretty expensive truck. That's $100 a week. That doesn't seem like an incredibly large amount of money. So that covers pretty much your setup costs, your startup fees, $66 a week into the escrow, $200 for the lock set, which I think they break up at $50 a time. You have to buy an ELD. I think those are $150 if you choose Motive. And that's $27 a month for the airtime on that. So I don't see, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I just don't see where the excessive fees. But let's continue and hear the rest of what he has to say.
Oh, yeah.
And then what they do is, say if you get an $1,800 load, they give you like probably $580 of that for advance for fuel. So you already don't got half of your load there, half of your pay right there. The majority of that is going in fuel. So when it's time to get paid, you getting 65% of what left of the $580. So you might get like $200, $300.
Yeah.
I haven't made
it's
$1,000 check yet.
That's crazy, man.
Okay, so let's get into the numbers a little bit. In his first comment, he said, we know I had $6,000 worth of loads, and I didn't have any money left over.
The first week, I ran like that $6,000 something worth of loads. And when I got paid, I only had $1,800.
So I'm going to come at this two different ways. I have an example of where I had a truck, did one load that paid $6,700. So let's have a look at that. Now, obviously, I've redacted some information that doesn't need to be on the internet, but let's just look at the numbers. So this is a load that took 6 days. It was picked up on the 17th, delivered on the 24th. It was 1,456 miles, and it paid $6,700. That's $4.60 a mile. Now, Landstar does have the opportunity for you to take a fuel advance on a load. So when we look at this, we can see that the line haul was $5,517.60, and the fuel surcharge was $1,182.40. So the way the fuel advance is calculated is it's 30% of the line haul plus the fuel surcharge. So our trip advance for this load was $2,417. So if we are going to calculate what the truck gets paid, we're going to take that $5,517.60. We're going to multiply it by 0.65. So that's $3,586.44. Then we're going to add 100% of that fuel surcharge. So that means that the total that the truck is going to earn, the truck's percentage of the load, is $4,768.84. That's $3.27 a mile. So we'll subtract that fuel advance from the total money that the truck earned, and that leaves $2,351.84. Now, of course, there's two ways to look at the fuel. One, we could say, okay, well, how much fuel did he actually purchase during that week? Now, he got paid for 2 loads that week, so it wasn't just that one load on the settlement, but we spent $1,103.56. Now, another way I can look at it is see what his cost per mile was, which was 46 cents for fuel. Multiply that by the number of miles, and that's $669.76 that he spent on fuel. So that means $1,747 is going to go back because we didn't use all of that in fuel. So that means we're left with $4,089.44, and out of that, we'll have to pay whatever other deductions that Landstar has from the settlement. Now, there are 3 deductions that come out of the Landstar settlement all 52 weeks out of the year. $3.69 a week for the Landstar Communication Network, $2.50 a week if you choose to have pre-pass, and in our case, $31.62 a week for our bobtail unladen insurance. Depending on what state you're in, I've seen it be $33.98, I've seen it be $31.62, but it's going to be in that $31 to $34 a week range. Now, if we look at this settlement here from the actual truck that week, we had $27, which is taken once a month for the ELD airtime. We have $94.44 a week for the $1,700 base plate. They take that once a year at $94.44 a week until it's paid. And then we also had, for some reason, the transponder didn't read, I guess, and he had a $14.40 toll. So let's take the things that are from the beginning that obviously this truck has been in the system for a while, so it's already paid those initial things, and let's add the $66.67. Let's add the $400 physical damage premium and see what we come up with. We come up with another $640.32. Now, we've already established that our fuel's already paid for. Now, of course, looking at the settlement, he had another almost $3,000 load pay on this same settlement. So when we get down to the end, even after the fuel advances, the truck still cleared $3,000. So if you look up here where it says $1,053 for fuel advance and $2,417 for fuel advance, well, we know we spent like $1,100 in fuel. That leaves $5,440 minus the $640. That's a $4,800 net. I still don't see the problem.
I've been going round and round and round about this with Landstar guys, and they all talk about how great it is, and
No,
they're
it's
just
not.
they're just not being honest with drivers, man. You know,
Nope. They
How long
fill
have
your
you been
head
doing
up
this?
in the orientation. They show you all these good rates that been paid, and then when you get going, you get in Florida, you see the same rate everybody else said, 80 and 90 cents. How can you make it off an 80 and 90 cents load coming out of Florida for $400-500 when you only getting 65%? They getting 35%.
oh no, you
So you
can't.
talking about 100?
Yeah, you're it's highway robbery.
So hang on a minute. It's Landstar's fault that rates are low coming out of Florida? Have we been to Florida? Do we know what Florida is? It's a tourist place that doesn't produce anything, and in the history of trucking, rates going into Florida are pretty good and rates coming out of Florida are horrible. This is a basic principle of economics and trucking, which is why we know that if we're going to Florida, it better pay really, really, really good, because we're either going to get $1 a mile out or we're going to deadhead, which is usually what we do.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that there is to it. I try to explain these types of things to drivers, and drivers, they don't want to listen to us because they feel like Landstar is the best thing since apple pie. And now so the whole setup with Landstar, see, this is what we're trying to educate and teach them. What I try to tell them is this: it's simple. Landstar is a corporation; they're profit only. They will figure out a way how to make a profit off of every driver that's there, whether it's $1, $2, or $5. You add that up by 8,000, 9,000 trucks, they are becoming an empire. That's just the facts. They don't care about you.
Is there anyone else enjoying the irony of him having 700,000 trucks or carriers on the road, and it's like a big deal that Landstar has 8,000 or 9,000? Okay, maybe it was just me.
You're making it,
Even your fuel card. Your fuel card is $2.75 every time you use it, every time they put money on it, every time you get paid on it, anytime you take some off of it, it's a $2.75 fee. And that add up.
Okay, it's $1.75 every time you load your fuel card. So if you load the fuel card twice a week, that's $3.50 per week. If you worked 52 weeks out of the year and you loaded the fuel card twice a week, that's $182. It's $1 to direct deposit your check from your settlement card to your bank. So again, 52 weeks, that's $52. We're up to just this earth-shattering $250 in a year for comm data fees.
Oh yeah,
that add up.
Of course it does. I got so tickled. One of the BCOs that was telling me, he was like, Patrick, he goes, I have to pay DAT for my permits. He goes, it's $5 for every permit that they send me. He goes, for the first 5 states, it's basically $25. Anything after 5 states, they don't charge me any more fees. He goes, the thing that makes me the angriest the most about this, he goes, I have to pay DAT with my money out of my settlement every single week. He goes, why am I having to pay them $5 for what? He goes, they're not giving me the permits. That is the one that's getting the permits for me. So, yeah, I don't like that.
I'm obviously new to the platform game. Escorts and permits is a new thing for me. And yeah, this is actually one of the first things I've seen in this video that's true. Landstar charges $5 for a maximum of 5 when you order permits from West Coast Permits. They pay that, and then they deduct that from the line haul. And yes, you pay a $5 convenience fee because you don't have to come out of your pocket. You send the information to West Coast Permits. They send the permits back to you. Landstar takes care of all of those payments for you. You don't have to do it. You just have to make the phone call or the email to the contact at West Coast Permits and say, hey, I need these permits for these states. And then they magically fall out of the sky into your email. And then when you're done with the load, you take the receipts and you scan those in with the rest of your paperwork, and it's all deducted. I think what's really getting at me through this whole thing is the exploitation that's happening here. Because if you've made it this far, you've seen me clearly and calmly explain how the flow of money works. And what this guy, Mr. Patrick, does is he goes and finds people that either don't have a clue how it actually works or want to learn, and then they have a bad experience, because that's what happens when you engage in anything. If you go get your own authority, if you work for another carrier, you lease to Landstar, if you don't take the time to understand how things work, you're going to have a hard time. And so he goes and finds these people and exploits their ignorance for his own gain. And we'll get to that here in just a minute.
And the fact that you guys, every time you send a BOL in, you can only do one BOL at a time. Every time you scan a bill of lading in, you're having to pay for that. You can't send 4 bill of lading in at one time. They all got to be single at one time. And that's just, it's nuts, man. You get charged for every little detail. And that's the stupid thing that I don't like about Landstar.
Oh, they charge you for everything. Ain't nothing free over here. They charge you for any and everything.
It's $2. Transflow scanning costs $2. And yeah, it's one per load because there's this billing department at Landstar. And when you scan the paperwork, it goes to people whose job it is to make sure that, you know, all the paperwork is in order and so that we get paid on time, every time. No recourse, no factoring, no waiting weeks or months to get paid. No even wondering if we're going to get paid. If we scan the paperwork on Monday, we get paid on Wednesday every single time. I have been working in the Landstar system since 2014. And not one time, not once have they ever come back and said, hey, you know what, you did this load and you know, the customer didn't pay us, so we're going to have that money back. Not once. Ever.
What is it that I can do for you? How can I help you to get more money back in your pocket?
And there it is.
I need to find me someone that I could lease on to. I done ran the road, and I don't want to do that no more. I don't mind going out a couple of days and coming back, but I've never had an accident in the truck.
Are you running for, are you running a dry van for them, or what trailer are you for? Okay.
Dry van.
Yeah. So how much money would make you happy every week?
If I could just make my house note of $2,500 a week would make me happy.
No, shit, no, we're going to do better than that. I ain't gonna do that, man. Look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hook you up with one of my guys up here, who we send all of our owner operators to if they're wanting to do dry van work, because they get 88% of the gross. You're gonna clear anywhere from like $4,000 to $5,000 a week working up here. And that's money in your pocket.
This is probably where I'm going to hurt some feelings. We've already established that this guy struggled with a $400 insurance payment. Now, based on the chart, that puts his truck value somewhere between $100,000 and $120,000. And he says he needs a minimum of $2,500 a week. Well, I hate to break this to you. You are not going to get home all the time with a probably $2,500 or $3,000 a month truck payment and a $400 a month insurance payment. It's very, 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 very unlikely that that's going to happen. Most people that move from employee truck driver to truck owner, right? They don't actually get to the business owner part. They don't understand that you have to work so much harder to run a business and get through all of the hills and the valleys and the ups and downs and all of the things that are coming your way that are going to happen. It's not if the truck breaks down, it's when the truck breaks down. It's going to happen. And of course, as most of us know anyway, the newer the truck, the more likelihood you have that truck could be down 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks or more. Do I have the occasional breakdown with an older truck? Yes. Do they sit around 2 or 3 weeks waiting to get fixed? No, they do not. And the other part of this, people always ask me, hey man, what can I net at Landstar? Brother, it's completely up to you and nobody but you. Now, I've already shown the math that I had a guy that on his 7th week with us, who is a level 1 operator, if he would have owned that truck, he would have cleared $5,000, $4,800. And by the way, the best part, I left this part out. That load that we discussed wasn't even a direct shipper load. It was a third-party load brought to us by one of the most hated agencies at Landstar. And between our trucks and the 2 or 3 BCOs that we mentor, we've made a ton of money with this agent that everybody hates. But yet he brought us these loads and we did a great job on them. And so he keeps bringing more and more of them because they're super easy and they're light. But I'm never going to say, oh man, you're going to clear $5,000 a week. I don't know that because I don't know if you're going to work for it. I don't know if you're going to communicate for it. I don't know if you're going to plan for it, because it takes all of that. It takes communication and relationship building and planning and work to capitalize on these opportunities when they come along. And they come along. They come along a lot. The question is, are you going to be in a position where you can capitalize on that opportunity when it comes your way? So he's very critical of our 73%. That's what it works out to, truck, trailer, and all that. But he's offering 88%. Okay, well, 88% of what exactly? And what are the costs? What's the bobtail cost? Because you're going to have bobtail and laden liability. You're going to have physical damage. You're going to have an ELD. You're going to have ad valorem mileage taxes. You're going to have IFTA fuel taxes. Somebody's going to get paid for your paperwork being delivered. Somebody's going to get paid for giving you access to fuel advances, fuel discounts. Somebody's going to get paid for that because they're providing a service. So 88% of what? And then what are the other costs? I mean, there's my question. 88% of what? I learned a long time ago that if somebody, in order to attract you to themselves, has to tear someone else down in the process, I got to ask the question, who benefits? Who benefits from me being given this terrible information about someone? Oh, come over here, buddy, man. Boy, those people are terrible. I'll come over here. I'll take care of you. You want to take that risk? I wouldn't.
So it's going to be a completely different game. If you want me to send all that information to you, send it to you now. We'll get you started, and I'll get you the hell away from all that, because you can't work for $1,000 a week, man, and run a truck. It's just, and
it's not even $1,000. My last check last week was $467.
Where do you live?
And the way I live in, and the way I had to do it was I had to book some loads and get the advances off them loads to go on with the $400-some and keep a little for fuel in order to pay a bill. And then I'm right back in the same predicament this week. I made more money pulling containers than what I'm doing now.
I bet you did. I mean, I don't doubt that.
I mean, they have loads on that load board, $3 and some, and all of that, but that fees. And
well, see, that's where they make up for. That's where they kill the drivers at on these loads. So that's what I'm trying to explain. See, some of these BCOs over there, they've got that's running in their heavy haul division. They're doing good. They're making money, but that's not the whole story. They're only a percentage of the company. It's the other drivers that's got the story that needs to come out and be told. And I'm gonna put your story out there too. Believe me.
I'll send you the pay stub.
No, it's okay. I'm not worried about that. But what I'm saying is, I'm going to put your story out there too. Once I get you taken care of and get you out of there, then I'll put your story out, because I don't want to, jeopardize anything with you with Landstar right now. I'll wait. I'm very patient. I get good information every day from drivers, but your story is exactly what we keep talking about, and it's just a shame. I mean, really it is. But yeah, if you want me to hook you up, man, I'll hook you up and I'll take care of you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, no worries. I'll send this to you. You can read everything. You can go over it. They have some fees too, but it's nothing. It's nothing like you're doing at Landstar. And plus, you're getting 88% of the gross too. You're not paying into that 65 cent, that's another thing that bothers me about Landstars. That's just way too much of a. This is what kills me. You're not seeing what your rates are from the shipper down to the agent. That you're only seeing your rate confirmations from the agent to the driver. And, Landstar is its own brokerage firm. So how the hell do you know what the actual freight pay is?
Okay, now we've moved from let me tear down the place you're at so you'll come to me. Now we're absolutely making stuff up and fabricating it out of thin air. The truck, the trailer, and the agent are all paid off of the same freight bill. Now, if you want the hidden secrets that most BCOs don't know, you can go into your Landstar online account and click a couple of buttons, and you can get into Shipment Manager, and you can see the freight bill that is sent to the customer. See, we have 100% transparency. So what I would ask of Mr. Driver here that's being interviewed for this position, what transparency are you going to have that you're going to know that you're getting 88% what you're getting 88% of, because I know. And here's the other thing that kind of, I just find it silly, really. We're all so obsessed with the 65%, but that's only for the tractor. That's only for the tractor. If you pull a Landstar van trailer, you get use of that trailer for free. They cover all the maintenance. They provide it to you at no cost. Now, if you have your own trailer, your trailer gets paid another 8 to 10% of that line haul. They don't seem to talk about that part very much. And there's an audacity here that you have a person that owns a tractor. They don't own a trailer. And you'll hear the language that they use. Oh, Landstar's keeping 35% of my money. Oh, really? It's your money now. And so you have a tractor, but you don't have a trailer. Well, if you're going to go out, let's say you're going to go out in the open market and you're going to go to a customer and say, I'm coming to you straight because I want 100% of the money. And they look and they're like, bro, where's your trailer? Oh, I ain't got a trailer. Well, how are you going to put these 40 pallets on the fifth wheel? Like, where's the trailer? Oh, I don't need a trailer. I'm power only. Okay. Where are we going to get the trailer? Well, I'll rent one. Okay. All right, fine. All right, great. You've got a trailer now. I'm going to write you this 100% check. There's just a weird audacity there that you think because you own a tractor, you deserve 100% of the rate. That's crazy. That's literally crazy town. So if you have a tractor, when you account for that fuel surcharge that we talked about earlier, your tractor gets up to 71% tractor only. And then if you have a trailer, you get another 8 to 10%, depending on number of axles on the ground. So you can get up to 78 to 80%, depending on your setup of the total revenue. Ours is calculated at about 73 for the whole thing. We've got a couple trucks without trailers and we've got others with trailers, right? So you're so upset about $250 a year in crazy fees for loading settlement cards and fuel cards and transflown documents. We have yet to talk about the zero cost cargo liability insurance. We've yet to talk about the zero cost access to LCAP for tires and fuel. We've yet to talk about the no cost billing and compliance and safety people that make sure that all of our trucks are always legal and ready to go, and that we have everything at our fingertips at the snap of a finger. I don't have to want for anything. So again, I'm going to get 15% more money. Okay. How much you going to spend? Cause I'd love to, I'd love to see, he said, oh, well, they got some fees. Oh, what fees are bad. The driver even said, man, ain't nothing over here for free. Cause that's what these truck drivers want. They want everything for free. They don't have to pay for anything. I'm surprised that they even want to put fuel in the trucks. Why isn't somebody paying for my fuel? Top dollar. Okay. You can come up with a better mousetrap. Say, hey, well, we do this and they do that. And here's the advantages of this and the disadvantages of that. But I just find it strange that we're never going to talk about any negative things about the people that I work with. Landstar's got some negatives. It's not perfect. But, oh, no, over here it's sunshine and roses. You're never going to have a problem. Watch out. I hear a wolf.
How do you actually know what the actual top dollar is? And you don't. And that really bugs me. It really does. But as far as over here, you're going to get the full rate confirmation, plus you're going to get 88% of the gross. They're going to keep 12. And I got a lot of drivers, man, that are successful over here too. So you're not going to have to worry about the money side.
The thing is, I don't have a tag of stuff like that. So
no, I'll take care of all that. Don't worry about any of that. I'm gonna hook you up right. So I'm gonna make it easy for you too. I'm gonna make it easy where you're not having to pay that damn tag off in like a couple of weeks or something. I'm gonna make it easier for you as an owner operator. So everything that we do here is legit, and we try to make this as easy transition for you as possible. You can pick out whatever trailer you want. Some of the new trailers are like $400. Some of the older trailers are like $200. I tell drivers, go with an older trailer.
Wait, hold on. We'll stop the presses. $400 a month? $400 a week? $200 a month? But I thought everything was going to be better. But this guy's coming from Landstar where he has no trailer cost at all, because he said he was pulling a drive van. But Well, now we're going to get it 88%, but we got to pay $400 to rent a trailer. Well, okay. All right. Well, that's interesting.
You don't have they're all rental trailers anyway, so just you want to keep your fees down as much as possible. But yeah, you'll do a whole lot better over here than you will at Landstar. That's for damn sure. Any other questions?
I'm waiting on you.
Okay. All right, I'll send everything over to you, and then we'll go from there. And good luck to you, man. I'm going to hook you up, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
All right, be good. Bye-bye.
Landstar will tell you it's freedom, but freedom isn't something you lease, it's something that you own. And until drivers start realizing that, these corporations will keep getting rich off of your miles. It's time to stop calling control independence.
Freedom isn't something you lease. Okay, we're telling this guy to take his truck away from leasing it to Landstar and leasing it to this guy or his buddies. Corporations will keep getting rich off of you. So is this place you're leasing not a corporation? Is it not an LLC or subchapter S or C Corp, S Corp? I mean, is it not some sort of corporate entity? Are we? Okay, so Landstar is a corporation, bad. My guy is a corporation, but he's good. All right then, buddy.
You hear about all the fees that's being taken away from him. When you have 8,000 plus trucks and you do that to every single driver every single week, no wonder they're able to get the discounts and what they keep bragging about. This ain't about hate. It's about awareness. Because once you know how the system really works, you'll stop falling for it. So to every driver out there, don't just haul freight, haul knowledge.
Every truck hauling freight, really anywhere in the world, has to have a driver. That comes with a cost. It has to have a truck and a trailer, and those have maintenance and acquisition costs. It has to have insurance. It has to pay into the regulatory apparatus. It has to pay a 2290. It has to get paid somehow. It's got to have access to capital. It's got to have access to fuel. It's got to have tires and maintenance and all of these things. There's not a truck anywhere that doesn't require those things in order to operate. Leasing to a carrier is a way to shelter yourself from some of the risk of trying to carry all that stuff on your own. That's why we don't recommend the first-time owner-operator get their own authority. It's way, way, way too risky. But notice that we don't tear people down that choose to get their own authority. Now, I say, please, don't, everybody slow down. I don't think it's the best choice for you right now. It could be a great choice for you later, but right now you need to learn the fundamentals of business. So I think what we can learn from this is you've got to really be wary of people that present information in this way because they've clearly outlined some things that are categorically untrue. And then there's other things that this guy's just confused about. Now, I don't know when this was recorded. I don't know if he's still at Landstar, but hey, buddy, if you are still at Landstar, why don't you reach out to us and let us, hey, look, we'll show you some of those best practices that get you access to the things that you're looking for. And we're not the only ones. There's literally hundreds of other BCOs that spend a lot of their time mentoring and trying to help people understand how the system works. But it's work ethic, it's risk management, it's communication and customer service. If you want the secrets to succeeding in business, that's it. So I've said my piece. Now it's your turn as the audience. You get to. I didn't cut anything out of his video. All I did was stop, enter my commentary, so you can go find his video. Hell, I'll link it in the comments, and you can go see that I didn't take anything out of his video. All I did was stop, add commentary, and let it roll. So we've given you the information. Now it's up to you to decide.